What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. When it comes to Gizelle on The Real Housewives of Potomac, her spirit and her attitude is just so foul and funky. I'm just really over it. And when I tell you, I was so here for it when Karen let Gizelle have it, in my personal opinion, on this most recent episode that I just recently caught. I was glad. And not that this is anything new when it comes to Karen sticking up for herself and standing up to Gizelle when the moment arises. But Gizelle has just been plain nasty and foul throughout the seasons of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And one of the reasons why I really am here for Candiace is because she has not wavered since she had the issue with Gizelle and Gizelle trying to stir up drama in her marriage, backing down from that to try to be friendly with Gizelle again. She will forever be neck and ankles, okay, when it comes to Candiace. But not only that, in the very beginning, if you do not remember, when Candiace was new on The Real Housewives of Potomac and she was just being who she was, and Gizelle didn't like it and had something to say about it, and Candiace let her know immediately who she was. They were going somewhere. They were on one of those little party buses or whatever, and Gizelle was like, who are you? Like, where did she come from? And Candiace said, I come from Jesus. And I'll never forget that. But Gizelle, being a former first lady of the church when she was married to her philandering ex-husband Jamal Bryant, she knows nothing about Jesus, so that's neither here nor there. But Karen standing up to Gizelle to let her know, like, look, if you have an issue, if you feel like people are being shady about your daughter, then you need to speak up and say something. It's not my place to do that. And Gizelle is just full of crap, because I don't believe when Candiace and Wendy were giving each other eyes and rolling their eyes when Gizelle was talking had anything to do with her daughter. But it had everything to do with the mother of the daughter who was speaking at the time. And they were just pretty much like, yeah, we're not really interested in anything that she has to say. So it's going in one ear and out the other. We don't really care about Gizelle. So to try to make that into a situation like, oh, they were being disrespectful about my daughter or speaking about my children or whatever. You know, that's the type of stuff, the type of gaslighting that people like Gizelle will do to try to have people rally for them, or not even just so much rally for them, but to be against the people that they don't like. What she has outright said, she does not like Candiace and she doesn't like Wendy. And the reason she doesn't like them is because both of these beautiful, very much richly melanated women have done is call her out on the BS. And that's it. And she doesn't like to be called out. It has not because they have done anything wrong to her.
I wanted to touch base because we never really talked over why I immediately said no to your trip to Surrey.
Yes.
She invited myself, Ashley, Candiace, and Wendy. So I won't be attending. The two people that you invited, I feel like when you're with them, you turn into a different version of Karen.
Oh, Lord.
I'm happy with where we are. But when we get around the group, for instance, yesterday at the beach, there was a true intention when it came to my daughter. And I know how you feel about children.
It was the looks on y'all faces. You're overlooking, and they both give each other funky faces at different times.
When are you going to rise up and be like, hey, children are off limits?
I don't have sides, and that bothers a lot of you guys.
It's not a side.
Calm down.
Okay.
I'll let you speak. I have ridden with you through, okay? I've known you the longest. And it's getting a little old to me that anyone would call me out and say, well, I want you to say, children are off limits.
No,
To me,
you don't need to say that. I'm shocked you did not say that.
you had an opportunity as a mother to say that your damn self, but you coming at me right now? No,
So we're
meaning
not
you-
good.
No,
So
we
we're not good.
We are actually very good, and this is what a good friend will do. Never known you to shake in your boots like you're doing right now, because you won't talk to Candiace or Wendy. I feel like that when Candiace is in the room, you're much quieter. I'm totally
There's really
fine.
nothing to
I'm
face.
totally fine. Oh, I am not the problem. You have a problem with my friends. Handle it. I have my hands full. I'm busy.
I don't want to feel like when I'm not with you and you're with them, you're trashing me.
I don't say anything behind your back that I won't say to your face. Gizelle has nothing going for her. That's why she has to take jabs. But she's so dumb, she couldn't even get handed off my title right. I'm very, very transparent. And that's not an easy place to be in.
Do that.
Even
But don't switch energy. When it comes to the two of them, you never see the other person's point of view.
I haven't. But I can do that moving forward.
Okay.
Because to me, you're not a bad person. Okay, you're not.
I know.
You're not the monster.
I'm a great person.
Well, let them know.
That's a lie.
Well,
Are you
Robin
done
knows.
now?
I'm coming
You wanna
closer
sit?
to you.
Oh, Lord. Come on. How are we going to make it through this? You got to stop being so hard.
Same energy. See this hug? I
Girl,
want this
Karen.
when I'm not around.
Don't let her get close.
See, you like this hug.
I don't mind it.
Karen and I love each other, but like Brandy and Monica, they hate each other in songs.
It's fun when we're fighting. No, can we get back to fighting?
We can.
Brandy had a better career. Yes, that would be me.
You ain't right. Your breath stinks.
And your asshole stinks.
Have you smelled it lately?
Yes, yesterday when you had the booty dress on, look, you were cute.
Girl, the delusion for Gizelle to even joke, because she had to have been joking, which was a joke that only she would laugh at. As you can see, she was the only one laughing. And yeah, I know that was a confessional, so there's not going to be other people around her laughing at her own jokes. But it definitely was a joke for her to say that she is more successful than Karen. This chick tried to bring out a makeup line. It didn't go anywhere. It fizzled, it faded, because she has a nasty disposition about herself. Karen, she has her fragrance. She has the hair line, the wigs, units, whatever, people want to call them, as well as the other business ventures that she's working on. She purchased her grandmother's property. She's doing things. She's not just on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, that's all Gizelle has done. Okay? And for her to think that Karen owes her something to try to defend her daughter that didn't need defending, because she was trying to make an issue out of something that wasn't there. So I was happy to hear Karen say, look, you should have spoke up on your own about your own daughter. That's not my place to do that. And I didn't feel that it was necessary, because it wasn't even like that. But Gizelle has done some nasty lowdown things when it comes to Karen. She talks about how Karen and her husband are renting a house in Potomac. They don't own it, crowning Ineka as the Grand Dame of Potomac now, and all this other shady, ridiculous stuff that she does. Remember many seasons and years ago when Karen and her husband were going through the tax situation, which is not uncommon to old taxes. It wasn't like he was on some charges for evading taxes. It's just the old taxes. That happens to a lot of people in business. And Karen wasn't lying when she said in order to owe millions in taxes, you have to make even more millions. And that actually is the truth, So it wasn't like her husband and she were being sued for fraud or something like that. So that was ridiculous when she was trying to make fun of it, and she had the t-shirt on that she wrote all these things on, and she was walking backwards out of the room so that Karen could see the stuff that was on the shirt, throwing shade and whatever. It was just ridiculous. It was so stupid. So Karen allowing Gizelle to hug her, I was like, girl, don't let her come close to you. Don't let her touch you. Go and get a cleansing. You need it. Definitely need it after allowing her to embrace you. No, I don't want any transference of foul, dark spirits to evade. So you need to stay the distance and do what you did, which is tell her to pretty much go to hell, because she was just ridiculous with that. She's trying her best to try to ice out Candiace and Wendy because for whatever reason, they have shown her so much favoritism being on the show. But now on this reunion that they filmed, it's been announced that she's got not the first spot next to Andy, but the second spot. And some people say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But it is sending a message to her. What message they're trying to send to her? The only message I really care about them sending to her is giving her her walking papers. But we'll see when that comes, because I'm just tired of seeing her. I know on these shows like this, unfortunately, they have to have a villain. You know, they have had, for many years, Kenya was seen as the villain on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Erica Jane, she's supposed to be like the villainess on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Teresa, who is seen as the starlet of New Jersey, she's been seen as the villain for many, many years. You know, before that, it was, God, what's her name? And I should know it because I used to watch New Jersey all the time. But you remember the one. She wasn't married. She had the 2 daughters. Then someone wrote a book about her and all this other crazy stuff. But yeah, she was the villain for a while there on The Real Housewives of New Jersey until they didn't bring her back. But Gizelle serves absolutely no purpose, and she's done some foul things when it comes to the ladies, trying to stir up drama in Wendy's marriage and then in Candiace's marriage. And I'll just be honest with Monique, who used to be on the show. I don't really care about, you know, her, because there were some things there. Honestly, they were covering some things up, and I'm not saying that everything that was being insinuated or said was true, but there were some things there. But because she was seen as a favorite to many people, a lot of people were just going to rally and root for her. I wasn't Team Gizelle ever, but I was not Team Monique, and I just believe that there were some things there. I do believe that Monique's friend, or former friend I should say, who was saying things about her messing around with the personal trainer and things like that, I believe that those things were actually really true. And she did have a drinking issue. I do believe she was driving under the influence when she crashed the car, and her husband at the time came and picked her up from the scene and all this other stuff. It was just a lot of coddling done there. So I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole, but what I will say is that Gizelle has gotten away with a lot. And I'm glad that Karen called her out on this, because it's just foolish for her to believe that Karen owed her anything, and she wanted to try to use, well, the reason why I didn't come to the trip to Surrey that you invited me on is because those 2 women that you also invited, these are the same women that were sitting here talking about my daughter when they were not. You know, but this is the type of stuff that Gizelle does. So nothing like this that she does surprises me one bit. But you guys can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.